back with another video. Honestly, y'all ain't seen my face in a minute. I've been making videos not in the camera, not being shown. Anyway, y'all, okay, I know y'all heard about the show Quiet on Set and the episode with Drake. Now Dan the fucking booty man, like, stop fucking playing around. This is crazy. I just have to watch the interview with him and Boogie. Like, I gotta watch the interview because really I don't want to hear nothing he got to say, but I just, like, what can you possibly say? And I still haven't watched the actual episode because I don't have I don't got cable. First of all, who pays for cable anymore? So I just been, instead of paying $7.99 to watch that episode, I just spent it on my Starbucks. But I'm probably watching this weekend. Most likely I'm gonna watch it this weekend. And we're gonna talk about the episode after I watch it. I've been seeing clips or whatever, but I can't deep dive in what I got to say based off of like clips on TikTok or other people's, you know, what they've been saying. I'm gonna watch it for myself. But anyway, first we're gonna watch this interview because I'm very disturbed. Like, this is crazy. Is my phone on Do Not Disturb? Okay.
Really glad you're here because I believe this is important.
Let's start.
Hey, it's Boogie. I played T-Bo on Nickelodeon's iCarly.
Wait. I knew I was missing something. Screen record.
I got a chance to watch the Quiet on Set program, and I reached out to Dan to see if it was something that he'd be willing to discuss. I'm pleased to say that he said yes. Dan, how are you?
I'm okay. I really appreciate you reaching out and giving me the opportunity to talk to you about what we saw over the last 2 nights.
I'm really glad you're here because I believe this is important. For sure. We've got a lot.
Because if this was Steve Wilkos, his ass would be standing up. The fuck? He real comfortable.
A lot of things to unpack. But before I dive into my list of topics that I'd like to discuss, is there anything you'd like to start off with?
Absolutely. Watching over the past 2 nights was very difficult. Me facing my past behaviors, some of which are embarrassing and that I regret. And I definitely owe some people a pretty strong apology.
Let's talk about the massages.
Okay.
Watching the content yesterday, that was disturbing.
It was wrong. It was wrong that I ever put anybody in that position. It was the wrong thing to do. I'd never do it today. I'm embarrassed that I did it then. I apologize to anybody that I ever put in that situation. And even additionally, I apologize to the people who were walking around Video Village or wherever they happened, because there were lots of people there who witnessed it who also may have felt uncomfortable. So I owe them an apology as well.
Yeah. Dan, talk to me about the writer's room. From what I saw, not cool.
No, and I don't mean to cut you off, but if I can cut right to the chase, let me just say, no writer should ever feel uncomfortable in any writer's room, ever, period, the end, no excuses. Most TV writers, comedy writers have been in writers' rooms, and they are aware that a lot of times there are inappropriate jokes made and inappropriate topics come up. But the fact that I participated in that, especially when I was leading the room, it embarrasses me. I shouldn't have done it. And I can tell you why it hurts really bad for me. I remember very clearly my early experiences, my first experiences in the entertainment business. I was green, I was scared, I was excited. It meant the world to me that I was getting those opportunities. And I went in and I got lucky because they were great. My first couple of experiences were fantastic. And the fact that I didn't pay that forward to every employee that walked through my door, it hurts my heart because I should have. And I wish I could go back and fix that. In the writer's room, there's no doubt that sometimes those jokes went beyond the pale, and I said things that went too far, or made practical jokes that went too far, and that was wrong. And that was because I was an inexperienced producer. I was immature. Wouldn't happen today, but I'm just really sorry.
you didn't care. You didn't give a fuck. You didn't give a fuck. You didn't give a fuck. Like, I'm sorry. When it comes to like apologies and stuff, honestly, they can really get shoved up anybody and everybody's ass. I don't really care too much for people's apologies, because I feel like when you was doing the shit, you knew what you was doing. You saw the reactions. You saw how people felt about what you said or what you did, and you didn't give a fuck. You didn't give a fuck, but now you give a fuck because it's being called out. But you didn't give a fuck when you was doing it. You didn't give a fuck when it was making people feel that. Like, I don't know. I just feel like, why apologize for something that you've already made people feel the way that they felt? So apologize for it like you can take it back. Like, you can't reverse the fact that I already felt this way. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm just mean as fuck. I don't know. I just don't give a fuck about people's apologies. Like, and me, I don't really be apologizing for nothing. Like, I don't know. Like, and really, when I say that, I mean stuff like this, like bullying somebody. Don't come apologize for bullying me, because when you was bullying me, you knew what you was doing when you was doing it. Don't come apologizing to me for making me the joke of the night when I came around, because when you did it, you knew what you was doing. You was you didn't give a fuck. You knew that it was upsetting somebody when you was doing it, and you continued to do it. So I don't give a fuck about your apology, and no, I don't accept your apology. Like, you good, and that's it. Like, I don't know. I'm not an apology acceptor. Like, I've had people apologize to me, and I just be like, oh, okay. I don't bully folks, so I don't gotta apologize for bullying folks. Like, little stuff, like if I did something, you know, people make mistakes and shit, you apologize for it. But something like this, like, bitch, you was doing shit and you knew what you was doing when you was doing it. You didn't give a fuck. So are you really apologizing? Because if you really apologize for what you did, you would have stopped doing it when you was fucking doing it. But you did it continuously. So no.
Yeah. Now, we know you've had a lot of success. Over 2 decades. Thousands of people have worked with you, for you. Okay. Let's speak directly to the people who did not have a good experience with you.
Okay, I would like to speak to those people, because I hate that anybody worked for me and didn't have a good time. You know me. You've been on my sets. Look, I've had some employees that have worked for me for 10 years, some more than 20 years, who would work with me again, but not everybody. There's still a significant number that didn't have a great time working for me, so my batting average isn't nearly high enough in that area. And the way they wouldn't get the best of me is that I would let the pressure of doing 40 or even more episodes per year, I would let that pressure get to me, which a good boss should never, ever do.
Were there specific things that you were doing?
Sure. I would snap at people sometimes. I would be snarky when I could have given them a nicer answer. I would not give people the time that they needed. I would be in too big a hurry to get on to the next thing I had to do. And watching that show, it made me, there were so many times I wanted to pick up a phone and call some of those people and say, I'm so sorry, and let's talk about it, and I wish you'd had a better time, and I wish I could have shown you a better experience.
Yeah. Now, you've written hundreds of episodes. Thousands of jokes have been told.
Yeah.
But currently where we are, some people think that some of those jokes are inappropriate for children. What do you think of that?
All these jokes that you're speaking of, that the show covered over the past 2 nights, every one of those jokes was written for a kid audience because kids thought they were funny, and only funny, okay? Now we have some adults looking back at them 20 years later through their lens, and they're looking at them and they're saying, oh, you know, I don't think that's appropriate for a kid show. And I have no problem with that. If that's how anyone feels, let's cut those jokes out of the show. Just like I would have done.
How you gonna cut them out, baby? The show is over. The show was years ago. How you gonna cut them out the show? What? How you gonna cut them out the show, and the show was 20 years ago? What the fuck are you talking about?
20 years ago or 25 years ago. I cut it. I want my shows to be popular. I want everyone to like it. The more people who like the shows, the happier I am.
Yeah.
So if there's anything in a show that needs to be cut because it's upsetting somebody, let's cut it.
So I think it's big for you to say with your work, if it's viewed as that today, you don't have a problem.
Cut it. Cut it.
I mean, that's a solution.
The last thing I
It's not
want
a
to ever do
solution.
is put any content in a show that's going to upset my audience and make them want to turn off the TV. Why would I ever want to do that?
That makes sense. I want to give you an opportunity to kind of elaborate on something.
Okay.
The thought process from the series is you had the power to just write a joke, and no matter what, it's going on TV. You just had that type of power. Is that true?
The notion that I had the power to just produce whatever I wanted and have it air is completely false.
Okay.
There were many, many levels of scrutiny. Okay? We had executives in LA. We had executives in New York.
So two coasts.
Two coasts
Okay.
of
Both
approval. Yes. And by the way, approval at every stage, really.
Okay.
And I'm talking about wardrobe. I'm talking about makeup, sound, sets, dialogue, jokes, everything.
Now, when you say approval of these, obviously that's a hierarchy, not your colleagues
right.
or people in the room. Okay.
No, not my colleagues. No, these are my bosses. Bosses, and then their bosses, and then their bosses. And they're approving all of this stuff.
Okay.
Okay? And we're also shooting it in front of all sorts of adults and caregivers and the set teacher and the families. Everybody's watching it. And if anybody had said anything, hey, we don't like that, that's not appropriate, then it would have been cut out.
Now, I'm gonna push back a little bit
Sure.
because the series painted you in this way that you were just the guy that was doing what he wanted, and people were afraid to confront you about things. So say, just humor me, say that was the case. What would have been the ultimate way to...
Okay. If nobody on the set, if all of the dozens and dozens of adults that were on the set, if they didn't say anything, if my bosses said, if they insisted, you got to make a change here, you got to cut that, I had to do it. I had no choice.
Got it. Now this next one, it kind of hit close to home. Being a new father.
All these adults didn't see nothing. I don't know. I'm about to go watch some of the if it's still up. Shit, they might have took the shit off them. I'm about to go on Paramount when I get home and watch like some Amanda Show episodes. Cause the only thing I'm not letting him slide with, but like, okay, when I was a kid, no, I did not see, like, cause I'm a kid, so if it was any other meaning behind these little jokes and those little segments they had, I didn't know what the fuck I wouldn't have known. I wouldn't have known until this shit started coming out now. I wouldn't have had no clue. So I seen a clip they played on TikTok with P. Diddy. P. Diddy, you're not beating the allegations now. You're not beating the allegations now, just to let you know. But it had P. Diddy, and they was trying to wake the kid up. And he was like, put this helicopter in his pants. Why would you... Now, that's not something that I would want my kid... Like, huh? Put it in his pants. I don't know, like, I ain't never did no shit like that as a kid. Put something in somebody else's pants. Like, that's something you teach your kids. You don't play nothing in the pants. You don't play in nobody's pants. Like, what? And don't nobody play in your pants. So I'm confused of why you even made that a joke. But when I was a kid and I seen the episode, like, I don't even think that I probably didn't even laugh at that one, because some of the stuff wasn't funny. I ain't gonna lie to you. Some of that things was not really funny, so I probably didn't even laugh at that one. No way. I don't even remember if I even seen that episode. But anyway,
I wouldn't be opposed to my child being in the entertainment industry. It doesn't matter what age. Yeah. Seeing some of those on-air dares, seeing it now from where you are now in your life, what do you think of that?
I think that some of the on-air dares went too far. I think they pushed the envelope too far. Not all of them, not most of them, but some did. Nickelodeon wanted to do their version of Fear Factor. At the time we were shooting All That, so I was tasked with doing these on-air dares with the All That cast. So we get with the writers and we come up with all these ideas, and it's hard to do because we don't have the budget of Fear Factor, and we can't put the kids in dangerous situations like the adults are put in. So it was hard to come up with stuff. But we would come up with all these ideas of dares they could do. We would give them to the network, and they would say, tell us the ones that were okay. Right. Those are the ones we shot. Those are the ones that aired. At the time, I had no indication that any kid ever had a problem with them. But when I was watching the show over the past 2 nights, I now know that there were kids who did have problems with the on-air dares. And which starred Kenan and Kel, and every show I did after that had a lead black actor in it. I'm very proud of that. It's very important to me.
Go back.
And the reason for that is diversity has always been very important to me in my shows. If you go back to the very first Nickelodeon show I ever made, that's very evident, as it is in the second one, and then the first movie I ever made for Nickelodeon, which starred Kenan and Kel, and every show I did after that had a lead black actor in it. I'm very proud of that. It's very important to me. And not only am I proud that they were in my shows, I'm exceptionally proud of the achievements they've had beyond my shows, and they've gone on to bigger and better things. And that.
Okay, y'all, my camera wanna fucking act up. The camera won't die in all this time. Now that I decided to pull out the camera, you wanna act stupid. My camera is dying. Obviously, I'm not at home, so we're gonna pause this right here, and I'm gonna just make it a part 2 video, because I do not like having to stop what I'm watching, then come back later and we probably just gonna make it a part 2 video, or we just gonna end it right here because I heard enough. I don't need to hear no more from him, no way. I want to hear what Drake had to say. I want to hear what everybody else had to say, okay? So when I come back, we're gonna be watching Drake. We're gonna be watching Quiet on the Set. Anyway, I'm gonna just keep that to myself. Alright, y'all. Thank y'all for watching this video. I'm sorry I gotta cut it short a little bit, but yeah. I will see y'all in the next. I will see y'all in the next video. Make sure y'all give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. What else? Oh, hit the post notification bell, okay? And I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.